Hello, this is Dale Matthews, and today only I'm joined by Mike Jones. Hello, Mike.
Hi, Dale. It's really good to meet you.
Yes, I'm so glad you could be here. Well, thanks for dropping by.
Yes.
So today we're going to be talking about reviewing the media and start off with facts and figures that we have. We do have the facts and figures, and more than half of our videos are just videos of county commissioners saying things. Some people get so irritable about this. Why, no, this is just you speaking. What's your problem? They're your words. And so why would anybody be upset about that? Aren't you proud of what you said, Keithick? What about you, Cheryl Walker? Aren't you more than proud of the things that you said to the citizens? And over my other shoulder is the Sunday
There's a cup of
Times.
coffee and an iPad.
Yeah, it's the Sunday Times on there. And the real mystery about this is not how the Sunday Times got on an iPad. It's British people are drinking black coffee? Since when?
Yes. Yes. That's
Don't they
right.
usually drink tea that's so filled full of milk or cream or something that it's, white practically? It's a cup of coffee. Well, go figure. Maybe they're changing.
I would imagine that's the site that you access from the U.S. If you went to a proxy inside Britain, you might see something different.
I don't want to go to a proxy inside Britain. Stop trying to force me to do so.
Okay.
We were going to talk about something else entirely this evening, and then we saw what purports to be a newspaper in our community, the weekend edition of the Daily Courier. And boy, that had a couple of surprising articles in it. And one of them, and you're not going to get media reviews anywhere else. Okay, even on Bill Meyer's show on KMED, they really don't like talking about other media. And I remember one time when the commissioners were making some kind of announcement, and they were surrounded by people from television. They were out on the sidewalk for some reason, and there were people from various media there, and I was there videotaping the people who were videotaping. Boy, did they seem irritable. They kept trying to move out of the picture. We don't want to be part of the story. Oh, really? You just want to put other people on the air, but you don't want to be on the air with the dopey questions that you're asking. If you were a tree, what kind of tree? Come on. So no, they don't like that kind of scrutiny. Gee. And so whenever there's something like, my personal motto is, I am here to comfort the afflicted and to afflict the comfortable.
Aha.
So, yeah, let's talk about the media. So, Mike has an article, just a little glimpse of an article from the Daily Courier front page over the weekend. And let's see that, Mike.
Okay. There you have it. And this is Carl Wilson, and it says pot taxation issue concerns local legislator.
Right, and this is by Chris Bristol. Haven't met Chris Bristol of the Daily Courier. And it's basically about how Carl Wilson is pretty upset that there was somebody that was part of a group that he was working with that they seem to be getting along with, because Carl Wilson doesn't like pot and doesn't feel that people should be allowed to smoke this, and he finds it disconcerting that that person was fired. So first going to talk just a little bit about what Carl Wilson has said about pot, and you might agree with him, okay, but what he said when he was running for office is he kind of took the other candidates for state rep to task, and he says, just exactly what kind of value is there to marijuana? I mean, people just smoke that to get loaded.
Mm.
One of the questions would be, Carl, why do people drink beer?
Well,
Beer is also legal. Do they really drink it because they think it tastes so good?
well,
Yeah, and also, I might have, I don't, but I could have a glass of wine with the chicken dinner. I think the right kind of wine actually makes the chicken taste a little bit better. Okay, but do you think that you really do need to have a glass of gin along with your steak? I don't think that gin is going to make that steak taste any better.
Yeah, I wouldn't think gin. No, I wouldn't.
No, oh, whiskey. Ooh, whiskey with a steak. Not exactly. Whiskey with a good cigar, maybe. I mean, if you're really going to have to smoke something, I don't want to smoke pot because I don't like smoking anything, and I don't need to get loaded with beer or any other thing to feel good about myself. So
Mhm.
I understand his point, but don't. You're taking two legal things and saying one is morally superior to the other. Really? Okay, so Carl Wilson couldn't wait to get on this panel because it's about regulating and doing things with marijuana. And boy, he really wanted to be on there, like some federal agencies where people want to be on the supervising that agency so they can dismantle that agency. Go figure for yourself. Okay, that's part one of this story. Tell us a little bit about part two of this story and why it may concern some people. Mike.
Are you talking about the Wilson thing here?
Yeah.
Well, um,
Unless you want to toss it back to me, bud.
yeah, I don't care. I don't have it. I really don't have much to say about this.
Okay. So, well, the other that's cool. The other reason why it's concerning is what had happened with this guy. I'm going to paraphrase it. You can read it for yourself. Pick up a copy of the Courier that's been thrown in the trash. Okay, most of them are by now probably, and so you can look in there. And what it says is there was a fellow that was on this the government panel, and a government employee. And they accused him, his superiors accused him of sharing information that was supposed to be internal with some environmental advocates. Now, that's a very interesting thing to be happening in Salem, because you would think that with the power structure the way that it is in Oregon, that many of the power elite agree with the green advocates. But they weren't too happy that this guy was apparently sharing information with them that he wasn't supposed to be, that they wanted to keep certain documents internal. Okay, so that's a little bit of a controversy, but they might say to the guy, listen, don't do that. And he might say, I'm sorry, I guess I got carried away. Okay, because they're our favorite people, or whatever they think about him anyway. Okay? But that's not what happened. What they said is, you sent these people an email. No, I didn't. Yes, you sent them an email. No, I didn't. So then they showed him the email. Now, why is Carl Wilson upset? The reason he's upset is this guy that lied and got caught lying was immediately fired. What? You can fire somebody for lying, says, that's not a direct quote, but you get my point. You can fire somebody for lying, says Carl Wilson. You can fire them for lying. And the three commissioners have to be saying, what? What? Fired for lying? What's up with that? Wouldn't most of Rotary Club, okay, I agreed, I'd play a little softer on Rotary Club, but wouldn't most of them say, fired for lying? What's this world coming to?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go back to playing soft and nice with a majority of the Rotary Club. But, there's lots of people in this community. Dennis Weber, pastor of Parkway Christian Center, a Christian guy. And he said things which were totally, absolutely, completely untrue. Fired for lying? Oh, no. That's what the story's about. So they found this guy. They gave him a chance to come clean. Instead of doing that, he said, no, I never did that. And they, are you sure? No, I never did it. And then they showed him the email. Now, if that reminds you a little bit of our president and Hillary Clinton, that's up to you also. Okay? But I think it's a good thing that somebody would be held accountable by this government in this state.
Yeah, no, listen, he must have crossed some line somewhere, like you weren't supposed to talk to so and so about this because we got a special deal with him about that, and so don't.
So you don't think it's about lying then?
Well, I mean, if it is about lying, it shows a huge double standard, because because we have, lying takes place here all the time. They violate the law all the time here, and that doesn't seem to matter to anybody. So why does this matter?
Well, okay, and you say, well, you're just being too tough. You've got no proof, says Diane Mackin, that anybody has lied about anything at any time. Really? Okay, so this is repetitive, all right? Here is Cheryl Walker using her microphone because she's not happy with something that Sandy Casanelli said. Okay? Join the crowd. And she says, well, you're grandstanding, and when you were a commissioner, you gave funds to a friend of yours. No, she didn't. I was there at that meeting, and Sandy was the only one who was raking the guy over the coals. And this guy was brought to the county by So Ready. Cheryl got involved in this because Sandy was saying some stuff about So Ready, which was true, and also in her opinion, So Ready's not a wonderful organization. And if you think it's a wonderful organization, then that makes one, okay? But so that's what she said. So to come to the defense of So Ready, here's Cheryl Walker. Well, you gave money away to a friend. No, she didn't. It wasn't a friend of hers. So a question to Cheryl Walker is, last week she lectured me. You probably think all week to come up with lies. Cheryl, here's just one for you to answer. Why did you say that Sandy Casanelli gave money to a friend? Why did you say it?
Yes, but see, you don't understand what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is divert attention away from myself. That's what I'm trying to do. You just don't understand that.
Well, I'll give you another one, Mike. Okay, so, Mike. Yes. Dale Matthews shot this video of a meeting with Keith Heck in it. Keith Heck said some things that were kind of dumb, okay? And then he put it up without comment. Then what you did later there, Michael Jones, is you went in and you inserted words into Keith's mouth, and you made it look like he was talking, and other words were coming out. Now, I don't know how you did that, but it's surely the case. And now I'm going to use all the powers at my disposal and get every department head to denounce you.
Here, let me just tell you, I can do that. I can do that sort of thing. Of course, his mouth will be going like this. And
like yours does a lot. Mike's mouth does that all the time. It's because of bad bandwidth, okay? Yeah. But it's coming out of his mouth. Well, that's not because I'm manipulating words into his mouth. It's because he's got poor bandwidth.
No, but what I'm saying is I could take a piece of him out, and then I could find another recording with him saying such and such, and take little pieces of it, put them together, and make it sound like he's actually saying that, but his mouth would never match up to it. And of course, we already know because, the video and the audio, and then their recording, our recording, it's pretty obvious that that he said what he said.
So here's my question to Keith Heck. Keith Heck, what you said to the public, what you wrote in an official letter to department heads, was that true or was that a lie?
Well, see,
when I stood up at the weekly business session with $5,000 in cash, it was borrowed, but when I stood up and I offered you $5,000 in cash, Keith Heck, to come up with just one edit, just one. Hey, Diane Mackin, come up with one edit, okay? Now, if he could do that, he'd get the $5,000, just one. He said it was highly edited. Why didn't he jump in with both feet and just give it to me and teach me a lesson I would keep the rest of my life?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
So I've asked.
He should have done it. I would have taken your money.
But he'd have to find something, and it's not there. Well, Cheryl does it all the time. She's always finding something that's not there.
Therein lies the rub.
There are hundreds of people that came begging Cheryl Walker, please no voters pamphlet. Please, please, Cheryl, please no voters pamphlet. These are voices in her head.
You know what? Listen. I would venture a guess that not most, and that would be a huge exaggeration, but a large portion of the population is not even aware that there is such a thing as a voter's pamphlet, and the rest of them are not concerned about what is contained with it at any time. Certainly not As to whether or not you're going to produce one, the very last priority in someone's mind, I'm quite sure of it.
Do you think it bothers them that we've got government officials that are saying we don't want one, that we don't want one?
Well, yeah, but based on what? And then, of course, she would say, well, my conversations with constituents at the supermarket. So round and round you go. Listen, obviously, it's appropriate to put out a voter's pamphlet if there's an issue on the ballot. I mean, it just.
And what was that issue? Do you recall, Mike Jones?
Oh, that was the junk ordinances.
Right, the ones that were turned down 80%.
80%. Now, you know what? Listen, to political novices, people that don't follow politics at all, 60-40 is an absolute trouncing in any election. 60-40 is just like that. That is a blowout. In fact, 55-45 is a blowout. But 80-20 is a severe rebuke.
Well, these same people that said to her, we don't want a voter's pamphlet, also assured her that this was going to be a resounding success, and she said so, that she'd been told by everybody talking to her what a great idea this was. That these were the ordinances. Go ahead.
So that just tells you that the people that she's hanging around, their political instincts are pretty crappy.
She's not hanging around people. These are the voices in her head that are telling her this. My dog told me to kill my neighbor. Yeah, right. I mean, obviously, the perception of this is way out of line. I mean, recently, I understand, I've been told, one source only, so it's only a guess. Not going to do a video about this. We can't. We only have one source. That Simon Harrod said, "Oh well, yes, this levy is definitely going to pass. Why? It's just going to be overwhelming. That it's going to pass. Overwhelming. Okay, you do have to vote. You do have to vote. If you don't vote, see, there is some danger." And the idea that money came in, because some people are going to say, "Oh, well, okay, then the levy's not going to pass." You still have to vote.
Yeah, that's right. You still have to vote, and you still have to, gird your loins against, false information and scare tactics and things of that nature, which are out in spades. I've never seen it like this. They really are going for the, they're going for the goalpost on this. Your feelings are what matter. Don't pay attention to your intellect. Your brain is trying to fool you. Only feel things.
This is why I feel good about these facts behind us. This is our library of videos from the past. We have the facts. We've got the charts. We've got the graphs. Oh, those are boring. I would rather listen to little anecdotes. That's Simon here, but I would rather listen to little pills that you take. Maybe he does listen to those. Yes. But we've got the facts. I mean, you may not like them, and we were talking just a little bit before the show. Oh, I feel bad now.
Oh,
we were talking, Yeah, we were talking, and I was saying to Mike, so what's up with the people this time who said we don't want to pay any attention to those facts and figures? Now, why would they not want to pay attention to any facts and figures? Why?
Well, but wait a minute. They do want to pay attention to the 2013 numbers if they favor their position. There was someone in social media. I'm not going to name people unless they're really.
You could if you want to.
I could, but there are people in some of the social media thing where we're hashing this out. The social media thing is pretty huge, actually, but we're hashing out this topic, and to some people the these numbers that we've been talking about on the show, they don't really matter. How about the current numbers? You know, the 2013 numbers, the 2014. We're never going to find out the 2014 numbers. We probably won't even find those out this year.
Oh, but we're going to tell you those numbers after your election.
Yes, right. So you have to vote for the package so you can find out what's in it.
Yeah, well, that's from Washington, D.C. You know, I had a discussion with Mark Seligman a way back, and he said, boy, you know, I like that latest poll in the Courier. It was about another subject. I like that poll, and I think maybe I'll mention that. I said, Mark, you can't mention the poll in the Courier. Well, why not? Because the poll is rigged. It's false. We've proven that. And it's not under dispute. It's a fake poll. It's just as accurate as the astrology page. Okay, and you might think that that's true, except what? Even if you thought that was true, some person in New Jersey is writing it about the nation in general, and it applies to you specifically. I don't think so.
Yes, but the point is that any poll that you can vote twice in is automatically, for obvious reasons, I'm hoping that's obvious to you, that is not accurate.
But that's not even what we did. We voted like 24 times.
Right, you could vote like every 10 minutes or some stupid thing.
That's
like
right.
That.
It was every 7 minutes we could vote, and so people. I went on there and I watched it. I stayed up all night just for you. and I'm watching this thing. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and the vote's incrementing. The same thing. Pro. 3 o'clock, 3:07, 3:14, 3:21. I could keep going. And so somebody's voting every 7 minutes. It's a fake poll. So it should be required to be on there for entertainment purposes only. So what I said to Mark was, Mark, you can't quote this, but I like what it says. You can't just quote from something you know is fake because you like what it says today.
Yeah.
No,
right.
and these guys can't do it. Well, we don't like those facts, so we're going to ignore them. Even the chief, I like the chief. Even the chief, come on, chief, you can't say that. So he gives us this package of material, not package. He gives us a chart, and so I did try to take this chart and to do something with it. And here's what I wanted to show you, but I failed. I just failed, dismally failed. If you make a chart of how many people work on BadCounty.com, there used to be 1. But our staff has grown exponentially. It's through the roof. We now have 2.
Yes.
And look, it's 100% increase. That's huge. What else can you see 100% increase in? Local taxes? Yeah, maybe. But, I mean, we've grown from this to this. Wow! And so let's do a chart with the two things. No, you can't do that because it means nothing. Compare this with the number of people just working in the failed IT department for the county. They can't even deliver audio with all that equipment, all that stuff. They can't even deliver audio at all. And so, sorry.
Okay, so here is my email from the chief here.
Let's see that chart a little bit better. Yeah.
Okay, so it's and the thing, unfortunately, you can't zoom on this particular.
No, but that says it. Zoom. Just look to the left, like many people do in this county. Not enough of them. Yeah.
So there's a major crime team activations, homicides, violent assaults within the Josephine County for OSP detectives. It's increased 850% between 2011 and 2013.
That's really alarming. That's amazing. Wow.
Yes, it is. And so so you look at it and you go, let's see here. Now, understand this. 80% of the crime takes place in the city, 20% in the county. So in that 20 percentile, of the 20%, the number of crimes that are being looked into by the Oregon State Police, this is a small number of those that were where this major crime team activation took place, which we don't even know what it means. So, I mean, this is supposed to mean something to me. There's there is no data that tells you, okay, here's what it does. Here's how many people were involved in crimes, and that's what this major crime team activation thing means. There's none of that. And so we're supposed to go, oh my God, 850% between 2011 and 2013. Oh my God. Oh no.
Yeah, but that's not even the point. Look, it's not in mathematics. In science, it's not even the point about, let me see that again, okay? It's not even the point of what it represents. It could be angels on the head of a pen or number of pigeons on the lawn. The first number is 2. The second number is 4. My gosh, it's twice as many.
No,
Six, 2 and 6. Okay, yes. Second number is 6. Why, there's 3 times as many. Look at that. When we add on another person at BadCounty.com, we'll have 3 times as many as, and the next one is 19. Right. Now you compare. Here's where I failed. I tried to put 2 next to 6, next to 19, next to 2,700 or whatever and there's no way you can fit that on one page.
Yeah, well, wait a minute though. Explain what the 2,700 thing is.
Well, I mean, you're not. If you're talking about, do you know that we're experiencing crime? Just the first 2 times. That's a crime wave, because that's going from 2 to 6. You better lock yourself in your house. You better roll up your windows when you drive.
Hang on a second. To explain what the 2,700 something is now. Come on, let's not get away from that point.
I used it as an example. We've got a lot more crime.
I thought you were talking about the total crime. There's a number that's missing here.
Yes,
and
that's the number that's missing.
That took place in the county, and it's thousands.
That's right. So if you jump from,
it's not 6, it's not 19.
Yes, if you jump from 2 to 6, wow, look at that, and now 19. But when you compare all 3 of them, one on top of another, to thousands, why it doesn't. When I try to do the chart,
and listen, there's another thing missing here.
Yeah.
And that is, did they add somebody into the task force? Did they have some office coordination about something having to do with, well, you guys are going to deal with this, or now you got 2 more guys that are going to help do this, and so now, you don't know what the variables are in this chart. The chart means nothing.
Well,
it
look,
means absolutely nothing.
And what I was
there's no correlation to a crime having been committed on this chart.
And what I was bringing up on a broader sense about charts and graphs and how they can be used. Our charts and graphs aren't there to try to fool you, but what's foolish about this chart is that if you compare 2 to 6 to 19, and then you don't compare it to the larger number, which goes off the screen, television. The little dots that are on your screen, you're looking on it probably on a computer. Yes. This little dots are so small, they're called a picture element. Okay, geeky, I get it. But this is about geeky stuff. And each one is called a pixel, picture element, P-I-X-E-L, pixel. The pixels on your screen are too small for 2 and 6 to even show up. Yes. You can't even see them. It's those of you from the print world, you poor people. Those of you from the print world, at 300 dots per inch resolution, it's like a 1-point type. Can you imagine trying to read 1-point type in a 2,700 point world? You can't see it.
Right, and if you're talking about an HD screen, you're talking about 1920 by 1080.
Right, and I couldn't even get even a line. The line wasn't thin enough. The line in that scale was representing all 3 of these numbers, one stacked on top of the other one.
Yeah.
That's the smallest line available. That's a 1-point line.
Anyway, you know why they're sending me stuff like this?
Oh, I know why they're sending it to you. Go ahead.
They don't have anything else.
Sure, this is all they got. Okay,
yeah.
But now, wait a minute. Maybe they've got many good points. Maybe they do. I still like these guys. Okay. Well, maybe not Scott Draper, but I still like these guys. I don't like being lied to, however, and I don't like being manipulated. And stop telling us, well, this means nothing, Scott. That's not true. Stop telling us that I don't like it that these people are coming in from out of town and they're taking advantage of the generosity of our county and they're here to sow seeds of discontent and hate. What? What the heck are you talking about? Well, think of the children. You can always do that. Think of the children. What are you saying? Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Stop lying to me. What? I'm saying that all the time, but it's happening all the time. This isn't true. Okay, 2, 6, 19. That's probably true. But just think of, okay, well, there used to be one guy and now there's two guys. What a huge increase. But you can't compare that. No, that's just using statistics to lie to you. We're not going to do that.
Now, there is a link in this email that shows, comparisons to, of OSP criminal investigations in Josephine County, 2013 compared to 2012.
Okay.
And
I want to hear about that.
Okay. Well, let's see here.
Can you just tell us?
Yeah. Well, no.
Can you summarize it in less than an hour and a half?
In less than an hour and a half.
Well, what happened the other night? Oh my gosh.
Well, okay. Here's OSP patrol calls for service in Josephine County, 2013.
Now these are bars stacked on top of each other. What's up with that?
Right. It says the red are sheriff's office referred calls and then OSP calls.
No. There can't be any sheriff's office referred calls. Remember how the pro-levy guys are saying the sheriff's office is not reporting anything at all? Zero?
Yeah, well, wait a minute. There is no reported crime in the county, so how could there be any referred calls from the police? Here's OSP dispatch calls for service in Josephine County, 2013 versus 2012, and it shows up. But listen, we don't know why these things are. They're going to more calls, but let's say if we have the numbers of 2013, 2012, and 2013 in the crime numbers, that would include all of this. So why breaking this down into who handled it? That doesn't change the amount of crime that took place.
Well, here's your other question. Remember how Bill Hunker was telling us we're just going to have to wait for those numbers from the state? Why are we just going to have to wait when those seem to be the numbers from the state? Are we waiting till after the election? Are we?
Well, okay, yes, and their story would be, well, you don't have the 2013 numbers.
What, didn't that say 2013? Am I wrong about that?
Oh, well, no, there's 2013. Yes, there was some 2013 calls.
All right. There. So how far away are we? There's some speculation. There's some speculation that they're waiting to give us these numbers until after we voted.
Yeah,
I don't want to believe that.
Geez, would you think that the OSP, because that's who we're waiting on, is the OSP to release these things? And if I mean, do you think that they are somehow coordinating with the county officials and the pro-levy people to withhold that information? Do you think that's happening?
Here's one of the things that we do know. This is very much like what happened to Doug Deakins. Doug Deakins, yeah. Doug Deakins was like the sixth person that came to us and said, Simon Hare is, drunken at these bars and he's acting like a pain. Okay, all right, well, that's not against the law. It's not very smart. The bad part was Simon lied about it. Okay, once again, that's the bad part. Okay, and he threatened Doug Deakins. You try to say anything, and, well, I've got lawyer friends. Yeah, get lost. Okay, so anyway, the thing is that we're being told this, and the thing is just flew out of my head. Does that ever happen to you? Yeah, the thing is.
It does. It does from time to time, and it's usually because you're rambling on. But in this particular case,
that's a good song.
It was because you were rambling on, but you rambled on so much that you left your own train left you on the platform. That's so sad. I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, I know it was about lying, which is very unusual for me. Yeah, don't lie to us. Well, It'll come back to me later,
No,
wagging
I'm
its tail
sure.
behind it.
So anyway, we haven't gotten to the other big news
Yeah, let's
story
get to
in the
the other big news
Courier.
story. Oh, this is pretty fun. Okay, before you put that up, so what are we talking about here? The commissioners have been told by me and by Sandy Casanelli and by other people in the community that there are laws about when they can get together and when they can't. Oh, why should there be any laws at all? Because they meet in the little back room and they make decisions and they actually take votes, and you may not know anything about it, and one of these days it's going to directly affect you. They make lots of decisions. I mean, just one example, the people where they made the decision about putting the dog to death. There were a lot of people that were pretty upset about that. Well, we would have done something. Okay, well, but we already made the decision. Dog's already dead. Dog's dead. Too bad for you. Right? Okay, so you might want to know that these things are going on. Oh, we've made a deal. I'm not making this up. We've made a deal with the city, with Grants Pass City, that we're going to give them the right of eminent domain to come and seize your property without your permission, and you're part of the county, but we've given the city the power to do that to you. What the heck are you talking about? If you don't have us there, you don't know that they're doing that. And this time it's on this little street. Next time it could be your street. Hey, I'm in the county. I don't want to be part of the UGB. I don't want to be part of the city. Too late, because the county reserves the right to sign over your rights as citizens to the city who's going to take your property away. Really? Yes, it's not made up. And so they don't like to talk about this. Well, let's not talk about that in public either. Okay? So we're there and we're watching this. So we want to know, and it's also, oh, I don't know, state law, that they must discuss such things in the front of witnesses. There have to be witnesses. So the number of things that were in their executive session where nobody from the public is allowed was more than ever this last time. Even Wally Hicks couldn't be there, and instead he had his staff there. And one of the things that Wally Hicks' staff told the commissioners was, in order to have a meeting where there's two or more commissioners, you must invite the public. It's state law. It's crystal clear. You cannot do that. Oh, but we want to be able to meet at the Rotary Club. You know, sorry, but this is what happened. And we want to meet at Wild River Pizza for the Rotary Club and give out have a private discussion of the implications of county policy and all things happening in the county to our friends in secret. They have a secret membership list, and we'd like to put that out. Now, we've invited the public, but at the last moment, we disinvited the public and had the police escort them out. As Carl Wilson put it, they were trying to gain access. We were invited. Oh, but Cheryl Walker changed her mind at the last moment and decided to uninvite us. Yeah, they're just trying to get their way into this Rotary Club meeting. No, we're not. I don't care what's a Rotary Club meeting. I just want to know, well, I want your list of members, because why are you keeping it secret? But the other thing is, if Cheryl Walker is going to give a state of the county report, I want to hear it. Don't you want to hear it? So, Walden's coming into town, and he's going to tell us how he single-handedly got the SRS payments for us or whatever. I'd like to hear more of what he has to say. So we hear on Wednesday, on Wednesday, legal counsel's staff, because Wally wasn't there, had a meeting with the Board of County Commissioners. We know one of the subjects was public meeting law. On Thursday, the commissioners, this 2 days ago, on Thursday, the commissioners said in an open public meeting, oh, who's going to go see Congressman Walden? And two of them said, we're not going to attend. And one of them said, yes, I will be there. Okay, that's legal. They can do that. They're listening to things about county business. It's within the law. That the law is crystal clear. Crystal. Then, on Thursday afternoon, I called Wally Hicks. BadCounty.com called him. And I said, so Wally, I realize that when you have a secret meeting with the commissioners to give them legal advice, that you're not supposed to talk about the details. But would I be right, based on what was written in this, that you were talking about public meeting law? He says, yes, that would be right. He can reveal that. And I said, well, let me give you an example. Congressman Walden's coming into town. And you could just hear this pause on the other hand, like, how come you know what we were talking about? He's coming into town, and if he were to come into town and let's say, oh, talk about SRS payments, many of the public might want to hear what he has to say. Long pause on the other end. He can't discuss. He's not supposed to discuss his secret. Why are these discussions secret?
Which just tells you when you've hit the mark.
So he's saying, well, he's saying nothing. And I said, okay, let me guess. You can't talk about exactly what you said, but you can talk about the research that you did into this because you're our employee. We hired you. We voted you in. Over Steve Rich, you would never tell us what he was doing. Now, is it right that an example might be when Congressman Walden comes into town, and if he starts talking about SRS, in general, SRS as an acronym, SRS that might stand for something other than Secure Rural Schools. It could stand for all kinds of things. Wasn't there a reading program in school, SRS, Scholastic Research Service or something?
Yeah.
If he's talking about SRS in general, then the commissioners can talk to him about it. Yeah. And I said, but if he gets down to specifics, and the commissioners talk about, and this is straight from state law, something that's within their power, within their control, within their purview, they must invite the public. They have to keep minutes. Minutes, yes. They have to invite everybody because there are elected officials. They cannot bring in their pals to just talk about something secret among the power elite. They can't do that. There's a reason for that. Because decisions have been made in our county for generations based on who you know and what you know, and let's keep this secret. We even see that among some of our friends. Oh, we have information. Can we see it? Well, no, we're saving it. Hey, you're our friends. What are you talking about? Well, we want to hold that back. You're going to hold it back? What's with the secrecy, bud? What's up with that? Okay? So we wanted to know, and they didn't notice it, meaning they didn't say they were going to do it. In fact, they outright said they weren't going to be there. And guess what happened? Show them that article, Mike.
Okay, and basically, this is the article, and this shows Keith Heck, and he's saying something to Mr. Walden there, and but apparently, if you read the article, the
Who wrote
other
that article?
Commissioners were.
This
is Jim Moore.
Jim Moore.
Jim Moore.
Once again.
And he's media, so you know he gets to go to these things.
He's the fourth commissioner, yes.
Right, and so, but all of them were there.
Yes, they were all there.
But look, so is the public too. Look at that picture, Dale.
Yeah, but that public was specially invited, and it's only the Chamber of Commerce members, only the power elite. It's a private meeting to talk about public issues. Keith Heck is standing up, and then Cheryl Walker, okay, but Dale, what if they only talked about SRS Scholastic Research Service? No. Cheryl Walker is quoted, she asked a question about emergency helicopters. This is absolutely county business. It is against the law. So, bottom line, 1, they said they weren't going to go. 2, they do understand what law is. In fact, Colleen Martin of the Chamber of Commerce also knows what the law is because I told her, if she didn't know. Jim Moore knows what the law is. The Chamber of Commerce, Congressman Walden knows what the law is. All 3 commissioners know, and the reason we know that all 3 commissioners know, besides the fact that I've mentioned it to them and other people have mentioned, they just got a briefing from legal counsel's office saying, don't do this kind of stuff. And there they are.
Mm-hmm. Go figure.
When they go to these meetings, they sit in different places in the room. This is not the point. Oh, but we didn't take any vote. At this meeting, well, these people didn't, but previous commissioners took a vote in a parking lot. Okay, it doesn't matter. In fact, it says in the law, it doesn't matter whether we take a vote. And the law says, no, it doesn't. Now, if you have any questions about why this is illegal, any questions about why citizens must be involved in at least hearing this information, any questions at all, you just contact us. Hey, Diane Mackin, contact us, okay? And say, I think that we should have 5 commissioners. How about 50 commissioners? 50 commissioners getting together could then decide before they bring it to the public, and they would present a united front. There's a reason why we don't want them to do that. It doesn't matter whether there's 3 or 30. We don't want them comparing notes and deciding on what the thing is before they come to the weekly business session. They already do that. It's just ceremonial.
Yeah, what do you want them to be, just like congressmen and senators? I mean, I think we can see. I think we're all objective enough about that. From our vantage point here over on the other coast, that things don't exactly go super well when they collude with each other and come up with plans.
Well, when you've got congressmen who are supposed to be supervising the IRS, and they sit down with them for secret negotiations that are by law required to be public, are you happy about that?
Yeah, I would rather that my representative is not making secret deals with the IRS. I understand why he wants to do it, because this is the double-edged sword of these guys trying to oversee the IRS, is that they, especially under this administration, they may find themselves a target of the IRS, and that's a scary little deal there. But I don't want to meet behind closed doors with these people, making deals with them outside the view of the public.
That's what this is about. And you know what? They took an oath. Hello, Oath Keepers. You have an organization. It's called Oath Keepers. Guess what? These guys took an oath. I will follow the state constitution. The state constitution and the laws are very crystal clear. You don't need someone to read it for you. Right? It's clear what it says. They even put out a separate little pamphlet to put it in more everyday English. It's very clear. Wally Hicks agrees this is the law. And so, Oath Keepers, here's Simon Hare, here's Cheryl Walker, here's Keith Heck, violating their oath of office. Where are you guys? Where are you?